you?
I'm good. Welcome back to Cooking Times 2. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Stephanie, and today we have something really good on the menu.
We're going to make salmon patties. I don't know if you've ever made them, but we grew up eating them. I love them. We're going to make salmon patties with the lemon cream sauce.
And tray baked vegetables. And it's such a delicious way to make your vegetables, and so easy. That's part of the whole menu today is easy. That's one of the themes. So.
We want people to get interested in cooking. Somebody asked me, Steph, the other day, Stephanie, why are you doing your cooking show? And I said, well, number one, I'm Stacy, but anyway.
That's always the case.
We're kind of doing it for a couple reasons. You want to give some of them?
Well, one of the reasons is we need something creative to do during this pandemic. I don't know about you guys, but we're getting a little bored. But also, we want to be an encouragement to people who might be a little intimidated by cooking. Cooking doesn't have to be hard. You know, when you look at a recipe and it's this long and there's 15 steps, nobody wants to do that.
I won't even use a recipe.
At the end of it all, we really hope to be an encouragement to people who are intimidated by the cooking process, and we hope to be helpful to them. Right now, we're all eating at home a lot more, and so we can also use new ideas.
Yeah.
So we hope you'll try our recipes, and when you do, please post pictures of them on the page.
Yeah, we love seeing how they turn out for you.
Have the vegetables that you want to have. Just about any vegetable will tray bake very well. In this bowl, I have onions, I have Brussels sprouts, I have carrots underneath there. I don't know if you can see them. And I have green beans, and I have just a little bit of yellow pepper. If you guys watch me cook here very much, you'll know I really like color. So, but I also want to show you, Stace, bring the camera down just a little bit.
Okay.
I want to show you how to cut these up, not because you don't know how to cut, but because it's important the sizes, because, for instance, it takes longer for carrots to cook than it does the Brussels sprouts, okay? It takes longer for carrots to cook than it does the green beans. So you want to make sure when you make your vegetables that they're all ending up pretty much the same size, okay? Like here's the green beans, here's the carrots. Okay, well this piece of carrot's really big, so I'm going to go ahead and cut it up into 4 pieces, okay? Everything needs to be about the same size, so it won't overbake.
Show them your Brussels sprout size.
Okay, and my Brussels sprouts, I'm going to show you, they're good sized Brussels sprout. How you do this is you cut the end off, and then there's always some little extra leaves here that you just want to peel off and throw away. Okay, they're like little cabbages. You know, you can get if you've never
cut those in half.
Oh, you don't have to. You don't have to unless if you're cooking them by themselves, you might want to. But see, they have to also cook about the same time that the carrots do.
Yeah.
And they cook faster than the carrots, so I'm going to leave them whole. Okay. Now the other thing is when you might say, "Oh, I don't like Brussels sprouts." If you like cabbage, you should like Brussels sprouts. It may be that when you've tried them, they were frozen. Frozen Brussels sprouts aren't that good. Go to the store and buy you some fresh, and you'll probably like it a lot better.
So that looks really nice. I mean, you got a nice bowl.
So now the next
fresh veggies.
Yep. Now the next thing we do is we get us some olive oil. I would use olive oil. You can use grapeseed oil. You can use a lot of different oils, but I like olive oil. I like the taste of olive oil. So we're going to wet these down really well. I'm going to take my little tongs here, and I'm just going to toss these inside the bowl, and then I'm going to start adding my seasonings, okay? In this little container, I have 3 things. I have basil, rosemary, and oregano, okay? So we're just going to, and if you have a good Italian mix, just use that. I actually didn't have a lot of one left, so I just mixed that one up myself. Put some pepper. Again, if your husband doesn't like pepper, you don't have to put pepper in it. And I need some pink Himalayan salt, sister. We forgot to get that out. Let me see. Here it is. So we're going to put it over here. And again, I use this because I like the fact that supposedly it lowers your blood, or doesn't affect your blood pressure like regular salt will, okay? Plus, there's vitamins or minerals inside of Himalayan salt that are not inside of others. So, all right, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to go over, while I have a minute, I want to show you something. See this beautiful new cutting board I got?
Oh, that's nice.
My son, Alex, works with a guy named Ethan, and Ethan McCook, and he made this cutting board for me. He made it out of bird's eye maple.
The little
and it's just beautiful. And here's his symbol. It's McCook. and woodworking. So Mother's Day's coming up, people.
Is he local?
Yes, he is. He's local. He lives around here. Mother's Day's coming up. If you want to get a nice original gift for your mother for Mother's Day, you could think about doing this. Ethan is young. He's got his own business. And he let me pick out the kind of wood I wanted, which was really nice. So here is our tray baked vegetables. Look how hard that is, guys.
So you put foil down, and did you spray it with
I
something?
sprayed it with a little bit of this, olive oil spray.
Yep.
And then go ahead and scatter these around a little bit. And then go ahead and use this olive oil again to make sure that everything got a little bit of oil on it. Now, this is done. I basically have the oven preheated to 425. And it's going to take 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven, on how long it's going to cook. All right? Oh, smoked paprika. I've got to put that on there. I forgot to get that. But I will put it on there, and we will be right back.
Now for our salmon patties. I use the pink canned salmon. If you make salmon patties, it comes with a lot of juice. And I'll tell you why. The salmon is actually packed raw, and then it's cooked inside the can. So all the juices,
really?
All the juices are actually salmon, and it's got a lot of good oil and nutrients, omega-3s and stuff in it. But we don't need that juice in the salmon patties. Okay?
No.
You got to get just the right amount of moisture in there. Now, for those who haven't ever used canned salmon, I want to show you. Zoom in on this stuff. You take it out, and look. It looks strange. This is skin.
Yeah. So
And I usually just take it and I just pinch it off. I don't like that idea of having it on there.
Right.
But I mean, most people don't even care about it. But
yeah,
I don't really like it. And then it's really weird. For those
you
of you
open it
that ever
up,
had me in
yeah,
science and we dissected, this is always kind of fun. See the bones? This was the spine.
Yeah.
You can just pull that right out and throw it in the can and it's done.
Okay.
And the same, there's usually just a little bit of bone in there. Now they say don't even remove the bones. Supposedly they're
been boiled
they just
and
crushed
cooked
and they're fine and they're boiled and cooked and all that.
And
but
they're very soft.
They're very soft.
Yeah.
I try to remove them a little bit. Okay, next thing is I break it all up.
Okay.
Zero in right on this.
Yeah.
Just keep breaking it up with your fork. You see it looks nice and dry now, kind of like tuna looks when you're using it. Now, I've got several ingredients here. They're all something we all have in our fridge. I minced up 1/4 of an onion. You put that in. You don't want them real chunky because it'll make the patties not want to stay together very well. This is my recipe. If you don't like it, you can make it without the Italian dressing. But I like about 2 tablespoons of Italian dressing in mine. I always feel like it's missing a little something, so I just add that. I add just a little bit of lemon juice from a lemon. And I add 2 tablespoons or so. I'm guessing this, but it looks about like 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And this is the olive oil mayo. I add pepper and salt. This is pepper. And then I add a little bit of salt, not much. Okay, then I start mixing it. I beat up 1 egg.
Okay. Yeah, that's going to be the binder.
That'll be, the binder. It'll kind of start coming together pretty good. Now, we've got one more ingredient that we're going to put in it. And it's crackers. And you can use whichever crackers you want. I've got Ritz today, but I used, you can pan up here. I've also used saltines, and I also used breadcrumbs.
Oh, yeah.
And these are Italian flavored breadcrumbs. If you don't want breadcrumbs, a lot of people say, I don't like breadcrumbs in my actual, like the meatloaf or the meat or whatever. But I actually don't always use them in the salmon patty. I'll show you what I do with them, but I bread the salmon patty with it. And it holds them together better in the skillet. Anyway, I'm going to put in Ritz crackers. And I'm going to use my handy dandy and put the crackers in.
Yeah.
All right. And I don't always put all of those. I always have more than enough crackers chopped. It looks pretty good. But how you know you got the moisture to cracker, the dry to wet, just about right is go ahead and pick some up and try and make a patty out of it.
Yeah, if it stays together.
If it stays together. If you played with Play-Doh a lot when you're a kid, you'll know what I mean. See, that's staying together pretty good. Okay. Going to add our olive oil in here. Okay. And quite a good amount. And just keep the lid off. Because you're going to probably use it with every batch. This will probably make 2 different batches. So you'll have to re-oil it. Now, this is what I do, guys, with the breadcrumbs. This is what I do. I just roll my salmon patty in this. I take it in that.
Okay.
And I'm going to wait until this is good and hot. Now, I'll give you a little suggestion. When you first put your salmon patty in the thing, of course, it needs to be a little bit hotter, but it'll get there. Don't move them too much. You're only going to want to flip them once because they fall apart very easily. As soon as they get moist, they start to get pretty delicate.
Yeah.
And then you've got
Wouldn't you say about 3 minutes on each side?
3 to 4.
3 to 4, yeah.
I do mine a little bit thick.
Yeah.
So I'd say maybe 4 minutes. But I always, whichever one looks the least attractive is always the one that I use to check. And I'll pick it up and check it and see.
See if it's hot.
See if it's hot. Now, the one good thing about salmon patties, if they do fall apart, you can put them back together pretty easily.
Yeah, right. I've done that.
Nice.
Yeah, I've done that.
Now, a good secret with these also is don't overload your pan. I'm going to do one more in there, and that's going to be it. Because you've got to have room, and it's going to be a smaller one. Like if little Wesley was over tonight, he could eat this little baby one for little Henry. Okay.
There, now it's starting to get hot. Okay.
All right, so let's cut out for now, and let's come back in a few minutes after we flip them, okay? We're going to do a lemon cream sauce that's going to go on the salmon, and you can serve it with it or without it. I eat it both ways. I also like it as a sandwich, which we're going to show you. Salmon 2 ways, actually. We're going to call it salmon 2 ways. So when we're done, you'll see. Now, basically, what the cream sauce is if you've ever just made a white sauce or a roux, that's what it is. A roux is basically butter. And it's like 3 tablespoons butter to the same amount of flour. So 3 tablespoons butter to 3 tablespoons of flour.
Okay.
So, and you want to put it in kind of slowly and keep stirring the whole time. And when it starts to boil, it's going to start, you want to turn the heat way down then.
Yeah.
Because you start it up on high, then you go ahead and turn it down. And see how that flour's already blended into the butter to make a roux. You want that to... You just keep going until it looks just right, which it isn't quite right yet. It's got to be kind of thick and creamy. Then we're going to start adding cream to it, okay? Now, it's to the point, if you can tell the difference. Do you see how that's rather thick?
Yes,
pretty
it's starting
thick
to get thick.
You can slowly start adding some heavy cream.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to take that off the
off
the
the burner
heat again
to stop
because
the
it's getting
too thick.
Thick too fast.
Okay.
All right.
And you want to add that lemon at the very end, right? Because it really doesn't need to cook.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it just needs the accent.
Just the added flavor. Okay, now it's starting to look right again.
Okay.
Look how smooth and creamy that looks. I might add just a little bit more. Now, I have to confess, I've made this before, but I've always used 2% milk. This is cream. This actually got thick a lot quicker. Okay, now, guys, right when you're done with it, we want the accent of lemon.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to take a fresh lemon, and I'm just going to squeeze it in there.
Squeeze it in there. Yep.
Just as much as
There
you
you go.
want or as little.
Give
or
it
don't
like
have to have
2
any.
stirs, and then it's
Couple
ready.
stirs, and we're going to go over here.
Oh, yeah, look at those
But
veggies.
we have a lot of patties. We have a lot of patties over there.
Yeah, and look at those tray bakes. Don't those look delicious?
They do. Now, some people, they like to make cream peas.
Yeah, and put them on top of the salmon patty.
Yeah. Or beside it, whatever. Doesn't that look nice
Oh,
and
that looks
pretty?
really good.
Yeah, so it's salmon 2 ways. Let me turn this around on our nice McCook cutting board. This is the salmon as a sandwich. You could put...
Yeah, he fell apart a little bit when I put him on there.
That's okay, and I put a lemon wedge there because I actually use lemon on my salmon
Oh,
patties.
yeah. I'm going to try this.
Now that'll be hot because of that cream sauce. So be careful.
Oh, that's really good.
Let me try it.
Yeah, taste that. Salmon has a real, just relaxing flavor, kind of smooth. It's not shocking.
That cream sauce
but
is smooth too.
this cream sauce is good, but also there's a little bit of crunch in there.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
I do.
Can you, what?
Bam!
Bam.
Like Emerald Lagasse. Bam!
Oh, yeah, it's kind of like that because, I mean, it's not a hit your face with spice type thing, but it's very delicious.
It's to slowly slap your mama.
Yeah.
Slowly. I don't like that phrase.
No, but
But anyway.
that's what they say.
That's all.